Kiichiro Toyoda was born on June 11, 1894, in a small town called Shizuoka, Japan. He came from a family that was already well known for its work in the world of machines. His father, Kiichiro Toyoda, was an inventor and a businessman who created machines that made cloth. One of his most famous inventions was the automatic loom, a machine that helped weave cloth faster and more efficiently. Because of his invention, Kiichi became very rich, and his business grew. Kiichiro's father was very successful in the textile industry, and Kiichiro grew up seeing his father's work and machines. When Kiichiro was young, he was always curious about how things worked. He liked to take things apart and put them back together. This interest in how things were made led him to study mechanical engineering. He studied at the prestigious University of Tokyo, where he learned about machines, engines, and technology. After finishing his studies, Kiichiro went to work with his father in the family business. However, while he was learning about cloth machines, he had a bigger dream: he wanted to make cars. At that time, cars were not very common in Japan, and many people thought it was an unusual idea to make cars in the country. Most cars were imported from countries like the United States, Germany, and England. In the 1920s, Kiichiro traveled to the United States. He went there to learn about the car industry and to understand how the big car companies, such as Ford and General Motors, were making cars. He visited the factories in America and saw how the machines worked, how workers built cars, and how companies used special methods to make cars quickly and efficiently. Kiichiro was inspired by what he saw. He realized that Japan could build its own cars if the country used the right machines, trained workers, and followed a good plan. When Kiichiro returned to Japan, he shared his dream with his father. At first, Kiichi was not very excited. He had already built a successful business making cloth machines, and he was not sure if making cars was a good idea. However, Kiichiro was very passionate about his dream. He wanted to make something big, something that would change the future. Eventually, his father agreed to help him. In 1933, the Toyota company started a new division to build cars, and this was the beginning of what we know today as Toyota. In the early years, the new car division of Toyota was not successful. The company first focused on building automatic looms, just as it had done before. But Kiichiro's goal was still to make cars. He faced many challenges. Many people in Japan were not interested in cars. Most people used bicycles or horses to get around, and cars were expensive. Kiichiro knew that to succeed, he needed to create a car that was affordable and reliable for people in Japan. After many years of hard work, in 1936, Toyota made its first car, the Model AA. It was a small car, but it was an important step in the right direction. The car was not perfect, but Kiichiro and his team were proud of what they had achieved. However, the road to success was not easy. At the time, Japan was facing many difficulties. The country was dealing with political problems, and the economy was weak. In 1937, Japan was involved in the Second Sino-Japanese War, which later became part of World War II. This made it harder for Toyota to focus on building cars for ordinary people. Instead, Kiichiro and his company shifted their focus to making vehicles for the military. They produced trucks, jeeps, and other vehicles needed by the army. This helped Toyota become known for producing strong and durable vehicles. During the war, Toyota's factories were working hard to meet the needs of the military. After World War II ended in 1945, Japan was in a difficult situation. The country had lost the war, and many of its cities had been destroyed. Toyota's factory was damaged, and the economy was in bad shape. In this difficult time, Kiichiro was worried about the future of the company. People in Japan were not buying cars because they had little money. Despite these challenges, Kiichiro did not give up on his dream. He believed that Toyota could succeed, but the company needed to adapt to the changing times. In the late 1940s, Toyota made an important decision. They began to focus on making trucks and other vehicles that were practical and useful for people who needed to travel on rough roads. One of the first successful vehicles Toyota made was the Toyota Land Cruiser. The Land Cruiser was a strong vehicle that could be used on all kinds of roads, even rough and mountainous ones. People liked the Land Cruiser, and Toyota started to build more vehicles like it. Slowly, Toyota became more popular in Japan. In the 1950s, Toyota began to grow. The company started making cars for ordinary people. People liked Toyota cars because they were affordable, reliable, and well-built. At the same time, Kiichiro and his team worked on improving the way cars were built. They developed a new method called the Toyota production system. This system helped Toyota make cars faster and more efficiently, by reducing waste and improving the way parts were made and put together. The Toyota production system became very famous, and is still used in factories around the world today. Kiichiro was proud of what Toyota had become, but his health was not good. He had worked hard for many years, and the stress of running the company had taken a toll on his body. In 1952, Kiichiro became very sick, and he passed away at the young age of 57. His death was a great loss for Toyota, but his work and his dream lived on. The company continued to grow and expand, and it eventually became one of the largest and most successful car companies in the world. Today, Toyota is known for making cars that are strong, reliable, and efficient. The company produces millions of vehicles every year, and has factories in many countries. Toyota is a global leader in the automotive industry, and Kiichiro Toyoda is remembered as the man who made it all possible. He is remembered as a visionary who had a dream of building cars in Japan, and worked tirelessly to make that dream a reality. Kiichiro Toyoda's story shows us that with determination and hard work, it is possible to achieve big dreams. Even when things seem difficult, it is important to keep going and believe in your ideas. Kiichiro's vision changed the world of cars, and his company continues to have a big impact on the world today. His legacy lives on in the cars we drive, and his story is an example of how one person's dream can change the future.